Oh, God, yeah. That's right. Nearly passed out. Jeez, how you doing, Jim? Oh, could use a bit of air. G'day, this is NBA Straya. How are you going? How are you going? You better be right. It is Tuesday, June 25. You know what that means? In 2 days, the NBA draft is happening. Usually, one of my favourite days of the year, top 3 favourite days of the year. But as we're about to discover, as we break it down in this here show today, there's not a giant amount to get too excited about. But anyway, this is episode 1120 of NBA Straya. I am your host, James Clement. You can see my ugly mug on the AFL Today show as well as on the official AFL Supercoach podcast. Today's show, we're literally going to do the NBA Straya draft guide. Now, you might remember in years past how we do this here at NBA Straya is very simple. We go, what's the team picking there? Sweet. What do they need? This. Okay, good. And then we move on. So I've got some thoughts. I'll just throw them out there. But otherwise, Cleveland as a new coach. Chris Finch is sticking around a mini. We've got the free agency stuff with Malik Monk. It's all going on. So we better get into it, I guess. There's no yeah-nahs or anything today. It's just going to be the little draft guide. So set you up before Thursday morning when we will be doing a live stream of the NBA draft in the studio, hanging out, singing a few Bloody Marys, commentating along, trying to figure out what the bloody hell is going on as ESPN and the NBA like, oh, this guy's definitely not been traded. He's been traded 2 hours ago, sort of shit. Anyway, should be good. Righto, let's get into the show. Episode 1120 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Joe Ingles, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better. Better watch out for the Lakers the Lakers introductory press conference if you're the new coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Hey, JJ, will you be podcasting anymore? Fuck, this is what we've gotten to. He's like, no, you idiots. I'm the coach of the fucking Lakers. When do you reckon I'm going to have a fucking amount of time to go do a fucking podcast? I leave that to the professionals like Jim. I'm just paraphrasing, but I'm assuming that's what he said. He was like, yeah, look, just the burgeoning popularity of one James Clemens has just put me on my ass. I just have to go coach the Lakers instead. He's not bloody wrong. All right, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with a daily whoosh. It's a whip around. Still pretty proud that I can do that sound again. Hey, before we get into the news, like Cleveland having a new coach and all the other good stuff, one thing about the Josh Giddey trade. So I did the breakdown of this on the emergency show on Friday. Hey, Jim, how did you like your day off where you just fucking worked? Oh, it was great. It's all right. Given this a couple of days to sort of sit and percolate, one thing I've not been that surprised by, but I'm actually kind of like surprised. But I also remain completely unconvinced that people who like style themselves NBA pundits don't actually fucking watch games for the most part. But wow, the Josh Giddey slander that came out after this trade. Oh, geez, yeah. Tell you what, Chicago, gave up Caruso. They wanted a couple of picks for him. They got a fucking 21-year-old who was a lottery pick 2 or 3 years ago and has not been used properly the last couple of years. Caruso's a 30-year-old, often injured fucking, like, cool defender. Radical. But the worst part is, like, the reaction to the Giddey pickup by Chicago has sort of blown my mind. It's like, oh, wow, OKC made another amazing move. It's like, sure. At the same time, they just made a smart move where they've probably given up on Giddey too much, but at the same time, they've sold on him at his absolute lowest peak. He's had the year from fucking hell. It's a dude who averaged, 17, 8, and 6 as a 20-year-old when he had the ball in his hands more, then went into a completely different role last year as his team was better. They added more dudes. J-Dub got awesome. Chet was there all of a sudden. Giddey's sacrifice just sort of did what he could. He's lost the ball. The ball's not in his hand as much, i.e. where he's most effective. And then when SGA missed some games, all he did was average like a 16, 7, and 5. You're taking the piss at but he's shit. What? Fucking based on what? Give him the ball, turn him into tall Lonzo, and Chicago will cook. Trust me. And also the ones go, oh, but he was shit in the playoffs. He was shit against Dallas. They played him off the floor. They played him onto the bench, right? Against the Pelicans, he kicked some ass and took some fucking names over the last 3 games of that series. What are we doing here? All the dumb fuck off-court shit stuff as well. Holy fuck. Yeah, it sucks. The entire situation sucked, but let's not fucking pretend like he's Karl Malone or some shit. There's fucking like completely weird fucking just vibes around all of that where you're like, how is this impinging upon his basketball playing ability? Let the dude have a fresh start. I reckon he's going to be a fucking awesome addition for Chicago. Like, I get that Caruso's an awesome defender. He's a great fit in OKC. He can knock down your 3. Great on-ball defender, all the good shit. Giddey's also an insane playmaker, passer, rebounder. As long as the shooting comes along. And geez, we've never seen a 21-year-old get better at fucking shooting ever, except always. Get the fuck out of here. All he's done the last couple of years is improve. So blow it out your ass, dickheads. Giddey's a weapon. Stick with him. I can't wait to get my Giddey Bulls jumper. Jumper? Jersey. That checks out. Anyway, I mean, especially like Josh Giddey's getting fucking booed. What about Miles Bridges? Yeah, belting your misses. That's way fucking better. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Cleveland. They've got a new coach. How good's that? My boy. It's my boy. He's back. Kenny Atkinson, you legend. I love Kenny. Learned a lot on the job in Brooklyn, he did. I would know because I was there for most of that tenure there for Kenny and watched him sort of develop as a coach as he developed the team, which was really good over the first couple of years. And then he got dogged by the boys, i.e. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, a.k.a. the Snakes. They're like, oh, nah, man, you've got to play DeAndre Jordan. You mean the fucking cook tall bloke who's shit now? Yeah, him. You got to play him over Jared Allen. It's like, you're fucked in the head, KD and Kyrie. They're like, sir, you need to fire this man right now. He's not playing our friend. Is it beyond me to think that the Brooklyn Nets, KD, Kyrie, James Harden tenure would have gone completely fucking different if Shawn Marks had a fucking spine and stood up to KD and Kyrie and went, no, dickheads, we're not playing. Look, we paid your mate DeAndre Jordan a fuck ton of money, even though all evidence points to the fact that he's fucked, right? Now we're going to play Jared Allen, a mobile big who can do a bit of everything, provide a defensive backbone for the dumb fuckery that you idiots do. What do you reckon? And they'd be like, oh, okay. If that happens, just imagine what could, like, the Harden trade still happens no matter what, right? Allen's a weird throw-in to get an extra fucking bullshit pick, which they could have gotten for anything else. Just imagine. And if you just let Kenny fucking roll with it, it would have been okay. Instead, they had to go do the whole fucking thing. They waste a couple of years. Steve Nash, he gets a fucking taste of the coaching life and goes, oh, now I'm going to get fucking stabbed in the back by these 2 dickheads after they stabbed fucking Ken Atkins in the back. Great. This is awesome. I love this. So, yeah, good times for him. But anyway, Kenny Atkins got shafted in Brooklyn. He now gets another run with half that Brooklyn team, which I love. He's got his boy and my boy, Karis LeVert, my sweet baby Karis, as well as go the throw Jared Allen. It's a reunion. I love that. But Kenny Atkinson, I just love that simple idea, right, of him getting a crack in Cleveland with a very talented team that's, you know, especially with what he started with in Brooklyn, where they're like, hey, it's Spencer Dinwiddie. Goal. How about D-Lo? And you're like, okay, sure. But either way, Kenny Atkinson, a great development coach, but also his acumen improved dramatically over his last couple of years. And then, you know, as part of the Warriors, which is awesome. So I reckon his vibes are probably settled down from being the absolute hard-ass dude. But I'm here for Kenny Atkinson in Cleveland. I love this. I was stumping for it as well. They do have massive questions still going into this offseason, do Cleveland, right? Mainly around Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. What happens there? There was the rumors floating around of like Darius Garland basically going, if you extend this bastard, Donovan Mitchell, then fucking trade me. And everyone's like, just fucking cool your jets, Garland. We'll fire JB Bickerstaff. He's shit ass. And he's like, oh, all right, maybe. And so Donnie Mitchell's up for a 4-year, $209 million extension. Very cool. Mobley, Allen, bit of talent. They need some shooting. They've got the minivan. George Niang as well. Isaac Okoro, there's a decision to be made there. My sweet baby Karis LeVert's already paid. But I don't know. Kenny Atkinson, he's got a fucking pretty good basketball brain. He might help sort it out. he'll at least give them a fresh new approach, and it'd be fascinating to see if they just go, look, we're extending Donovan Mitchell. We're not trading you. You're fucking talented. We gave up absolutely shit tons of stuff to go get you from Utah. Darius, Donnie, figure it the fuck out. You too, Kenny. Jump in and figure this out with him. If it doesn't go well after a year, you trade Donovan Mitchell or Garland. It doesn't matter. Because the weird thing is you're going to have to pay Mobley at some point. You go, can Mobley shoot? We're about to find out. Anyway, so good job, Cleveland. I like the hire. I just like the hire. Chris Finch. There's another coach. Minnesota. He's got an extension, 4-year extension up to 2028. That's kind of nice. He did a very good job. All he's done is make the playoffs, kick some ass, take some names, and then fall flat on his ass against Dallas because he bunged his knee. Still, good stuff. Scotty Barnes got an extension. How's that? Couldn't beat the allegations, but he did get $270 million if he makes an All-NBA team. Fuck me, that's a lot of money for Scoob. 5 years, $225 million guaranteed. Could go up to 270 because, with the bonus max, which is always weird. But still, only averaged a lazy 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks. Scoob can play a bit. My question around Scoob is, can you build the team around him? How does it all work? They've got a bit of talent there, but as we're about to talk out in the draft guide, question marks. Hey, the other free agency latest. Malik Monk is sticking around in Sacramento because they're like, hey, Malik, here's $78 million. He's like, fucking nice. I would have responded in kind. $78 million for 4 years. I feel like that's a really good deal for Sacramento. Like, doesn't it feel like somebody who missed out on Paul George or something in the offseason, Philly, would just go, fuck it, give Malik Monk the bag. Orlando could have given him the bag. Philly, they need more shooting. Oh, but we've got Buddy Hield. Gross. But Malik Monk gets paid. Happy days of that. What else? The Warriors, they guaranteed Kevon Looney's $8 million. They've got a bigger decision to make about the Chris Paul deal because it's non-guaranteed for $30 million until Friday. Tick, tock, tick, tock. So do you reckon Chris Paul will be a Golden State Warrior by the end of the week? Yeah, nah. I think they're going to kick the tires and whatever the fuck they can to get a bit more talent into that Warriors team to just help grease the skids of Steph Curry's retirement tour over the next 4 or 5 years. Because Klay Thompson sounds like basically they're just like, we want to keep you as long as you don't cost us too much cash. And he's like, well, I want to get paid a lot of money. And they're like, see, we've got a bit of a disconnect here. Clay's like, I just want to ride my boat. So basically the Warriors are a fascinating case over the next couple of days, right? If they kick the tires on some Warriors stuff, whether or not they try to piece together like, go, right, fuck it, we're setting off Johnny Cumbucket Kuminga as long as, along with Chris Paul, we'll go get Paul George. What do you reckon? Be pretty fun, pretty weird. But there are a lot of decisions up in the air about that. Reggie Jackson also picked up his player option for $5.25 million. Can we fire it up? You ready? Ready? Ring, ding, 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 ding. Order! Yeah, Reggie Jackson was not going to get more than $5.5 million on the open market. Not bloody bad. All right, there you go. I think that's about all the news fit to print. And JJ Redick was like, yeah, I've been excommunicated from the content space. And I'm like, I mean, sure. You also got paid a fuck ton of money to go coach the LA Lakers, but otherwise... And it was kind of like funny. Everyone's like, hey, JJ, you've never coached in the NBA before. And it's like, yeah, guys, I know that I've never coached in the NBA before. Neither is your mate, Jim. Righto, let's take a very, very, very quick break. And we will come back with the NBA Straya draft guide right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Giddey.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do the damn thing. Woo-wee! It is here, the NBA Straya draft guide. Now, first off, I've got 3 awards to give out. Pre-awards, I reckon. Vibes on, just the usual big draft questions. I.e., number 1, the team's most likely to fuck up a pick. Drum roll, Detroit Pistons. Let's go. Charlotte, always a good one. And I'm wearing the hat today if you're watching the YouTube. Sacramento. There is a chance. Actually, I've got hats for all three of those teams. I was wearing the Detroit one with the teal. I fucking love that Detroit teal. I love that hat. And I've obviously got a cream Charlotte one. I don't think I can wear it in front of the green screen here in the studio. But yeah, Detroit, look, they're picking at 5 again. For the third straight year, which is always really funny. And it feels like there is, like, in the top 4 or 5, 6 picks of this draft that they feel kind of interchangeable in terms of talent, or at least their ability to turn into a superstar. But at the same time, you could extend that out to like the top fucking 14 picks, if you ask me. But without fail, Detroit will probably somehow fuck it up. At the same time, they do have a brand new dude in charge there in Trajan Langdon, which is kind of neat. So maybe not. Charlotte, they've got some dudes in charge as well. Bit new, bit fun. We'll see what happens there. But Sacramento, you just know that they're just fucking, oh yeah, man, just check out how we're going to fuck this one up. Least happy with their pick. Drum roll. Brrr, Atlanta. What a year to get the number 1 pick for the Atlanta Hawks for the first time in franchise history. They're just like, are you fucking serious? God damn it. In a year where there's no clear-cut number 1 and literally any of the fucking top 5, 6 dudes, you could just name them on draft night as number 1, you'd be like, fucking sure. That's the most Atlanta shit. And like they'll just pick it and go, fuck, I hope this works out. God damn it. So I feel like Atlanta will be sitting there going, it doesn't matter who we pick. It's just like, it's more nerves than anything else. You're just like, I'm so nervous about what's going to happen if I'm an Atlanta fan. I'm looking at this going, I don't know who we're going to pick up. I don't know how it's going to go. But I hate that we've got the number 1 pick. So if I'm Atlanta, I'll probably just fucking trade back. Another one, most likely to trade. It's probably number 3, Houston, isn't it? You know, they've got a shit ton of young talent already. You've already got, you know, they paid for a couple of vets in Fred VanVleet, the Fighting VanVleets, and Dylan Brooks, etc. But they already have Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Şengün, Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, probably somebody else I'm forgetting. Oh, Tari Eason. Like, they've got dudes coming out the old wazoo. Our man, Rock'em, Sock'em, Block'em, Jock'em, Landau. They've got young dudes coming at the wazoo. And at number 3, you sort of go, look, we've got a couple of decisions to make. Do we use it? Do we trade it? You know, use it to trade back and pick up something else? Do we throw this and Jalen Green in a deal together to go get somebody a bigger name to sort of help push this over the top? I don't know. It's a weird decision that Houston have to make, and there's already like been rumors of them kicking around the tires about wanting to get Marcus Smart because Ime Udoka loves him. So we'll see what happens. But I reckon Houston are most likely to trade out. Most likely to trade up, Memphis. They're like, we fucking want a Donovan Clingan. We need a big dude, come on, to play next to Jaren Jackson Jr. So that's and somehow to get the best 2 players, drum roll please, San Antonio. They're just somehow going to use 4 and 8. Which I've talked about this before when we talked about the draft stuff. I fucking love when teams have like top 8 picks at the same time, right? In the same year. Top 10 is a little bit wobblier because if you've got 3 and 10, it's a bit of a gap. But 4 and 8, you control the board. I love that. You can trade up. You can trade back. Like, if San Antonio went, hey, Atlanta, just give us number 1, we'll give you 4 and 8. Atlanta would be like, shit, probably. And then if San Antonio go, what about if we give you 8 and 1 of your own picks back? And they're like, for 1 and what? And San Antonio's like, Bogdan Bogdanovic. Love that. But either way, San Antonio somehow, if they pick at 4 and 8, you just sort of trust them to go, oh, well, now both picks, and now they're a fucking juggernaut. And we're sitting here watching another 20 years of San Antonio dominance around fucking Wemby, just like his Tim Duncan. Hooray. All right, let's do it, though. The NBA Straya mock draft. Okay, are you ready for this? All right. On the clock, the Atlanta Hawks. All the mock drafts in the world are basically like, I don't fucking know. So what do they need, Jim? This is the thing. You've got Trae Young, you've got DeJounte, you've got a nascent budding wing star in Jalen Johnson. You've already got a couple of bigs in Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu. Are they your dudes, though? Do you look at them and go, fuck it, if we replace Clint Capella with Klingon and then maybe move on from Okongwu, Okongwu's good, Okongwu's young, maybe we just get Klingon in there as well and see how the two of them sort of work as a 1-2 punch, as we've just seen Dallas do with your old mate Derek Lively and Dan Gafford. Possibly. Or do they go, what about Zachary Rissache? Get the French kid. What a year to get the number 1 pick, seriously. Like, anyone could fucking go here, but they don't really need a guard. Alex Sarr hasn't worked out for them, so it feels like it'd be a bit of a piss take if they just went, well, sucked in, you French fuck, you're playing for us. Would love to see it. So they'll go the other French dude. Everyone's got him on the top of their mocks at the moment. Rissache, look, he's kind of like at least filling a need. A little bit of a do-everything. I've still got a few questions about it. You're like, aren't you just slightly more hyped up French Denny Avdija? Aren't you? Who might not be as good at defense. But either way, he sort of still fits unless you want to go Klingon at number 1 and replace Capella or like bump up a Okongwu into Capella's space, move Capella to somewhere else, get Klingon in there. It's a tough fucking fit. It's a tough year to do it. Rissache just sort of feels like the best fit, I guess, for what they kind of need. Him next to DeJounte, Trae, Bogdan coming off the bench, Jalen Johnson, one of the bigs. You've got DeAndre Hunter. You know, suddenly you've got the makings of an interesting team. Or you could just trade back with San Antonio and let them take the French dude. Just saying. Number 2, Washington. What do they need? Fucking everything. Oh, geez, who's your best player? Fucking, I don't know, Kyle Kuzma? Jordan Poole? Alex Sarr should go number 2. Why is that? Well, did you know who the Washington big man rotation sort of includes this year? You don't? Well, I'll tell you what. It's not fucking spectacular by any means in a surprise twist. The Washington Wizards depth chart currently at the center position has Marvin Bagley III and like Rashawn Holmes. Take Alex Sarr. He's got a bit of upside. You know, we're in Australia. We all get this. We watched a bit of the old Perth Wildcats this year. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. But you can at least see the sort of outline of what he is as a basketball player. Stretchy, big, wants to shoot a little bit more, can put it on the floor a little bit, gets lost sometimes, has defensive upside. If I was San Antonio, I'd be like, fuck, this would be fun to pair him with Wemby. But instead, Washington at number 2, just take Alex Sarr. He could be an Alex Star on this shit team. I'm just saying. Houston at number 3. This is it. What do they need? I don't know. Trade the thing for Brandon Ingram. That's what they probably need to do. Failing that, Donovan Klingon. That's another one. UConn, right? So get a bit of, like, because that's like the one thing where you look at their roster and you go, oh, Jock Landau, Steven Adams, question mark. Because they, behind Şengün, obviously we saw that their depth got tested very quickly. It's like, all right, it's Rock'em, Sock'em, Block'em, Jock'em, Landau. And like, it's getting very thin very quick. So I think if you want to go Klingon there, I can't really fault you, but the problem is if you're going to use the number 3 pick on a dude who you're going to sit behind like Şengün and Smith, like, okay. So maybe you'd probably just want to go, fuck it. Well, you know what we do need? Because Fred VanVleet can shoot it a bit. Not exactly the world's most fucking knockdown, reliable three-point shooter. He goes on these incredible runs where he's a fucking deadeye. But for the season, shot 38% from 3. So you're very, very solid. Outside of that, however, Jalen Green, streakier than a pair of your kids' undies. Gross. Dylan Brooks, same fucking thing. Jabari Smith, I want to see him develop that three-point shot a bit more. We know that Amen Thompson, really working on his shot. Cam Whitmore can light it up here and there. But outside of that, let's just go Reed Shepherd from Kentucky. Absolute gun shooter. They need that. So number 3, we're taking Reed Shepherd. Sound good? Good. Great. If Klingon doesn't go top 3 as well, BT dubs, this is where the draft gets fucky. Because San Antonio will be like, we'll take him. And And everybody else would be like, fuck, we're going to trade with San Antonio to get that pick. You wouldn't be surprised to see Memphis trade up from 9. Wouldn't be surprised to even fucking see Portland move up from 7. But if Klingon doesn't go top 3, I reckon there'll be a little bit of a scramble around 4 or 5 to go and get him. So number 4, if you're San Antonio, you know what I'd love to see them do? If Ricochet is actually there, I would fucking love to see them snag him there. But I've just given him number 1 to Atlanta. I reckon you should take a French dude. If Sar's already gone as well, it feels like it might be a little bit too high for our man Tijen Salon to go there, at least at that pick at 4. But then again, San Antonio would probably always go, Jim, shut the fuck up. We don't care what you think, buddy. We're taking the French kid just so fucking Wemby's got a French mate hanging out with him. I still think what they need is a dude who can set a table. Give me Stephon Castle. Because Reed Shepherd's gone. I don't want Rob Dillingham just yet. We're going Stephon Castle. Here for that. Let's go. UConn, what is he? Fucking 6'6". I mean, there's also the chance you go Buzelis there or something like that where you've got a bit of fucking weird sort of extra playmaking, some strange stuff. But there's also kicking the tails on Devin Carter, but it feels a little bit too high for him. So let's go Stephon Castle there. A dude who can point guard, bro. Just give me a point guard, bro. Come on, bro. Unless we can get a really good French dude there, bro. We're going the point guard, bro. Got to get Wemby the ball, bro. Simple as that. Give me Stephon Castle to the San Antonio Spurs. Number 5, Detroit basketball again. If Buzelis is there, maybe him. It's a bit of a swing. The dude can't shoot. When you're like, well, we've already got Orsar Thompson and we've got Kay Cunningham and Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duran, and fuck, we've got no one on this team who can shoot. Maybe don't get the dude who can't fucking shoot. Dalton Connect can shoot a little bit. He can connect on his shots. I actually just don't mind it. Like, his versatility is pretty good. 42.5% from 3 when he was playing in SEC games. 46% from the field across the season, 21 points. He just gets buckets. You know what Detroit need to be able to do? Fucking score. So give me Dalton Connect from Tennessee at Detroit. At the same time, as I said, if Klingon's not gone by this point, like Detroit have already got about fucking 87 centers. And what I hate with the NBA draft, well, we've already got centers. It's like, yeah, but if this dude's better than those guys, then fuck him off. But I like Jalen Duren a lot. So I'd probably keep him. And I just want some wing scoring from Detroit because they've got fucking nothing. This is the joke I made all season about this horrible Detroit team. It's point guards and centers and nothing else. Give me a wing. Give me Dalton Connect so he can connect on some shots. But it wouldn't surprise me as well if Memphis traded up from 9 to 5 to go get Klingon or something. Number 6, Charlotte. Both options, like whatever option here is like Charlotte could somehow completely fuck it up. Look, in a vacuum, I love the idea of Cody Williams from Colorado going to Charlotte. Because you're building out around Spindles, Miller, and LaMelo Ball, right? Fuck Miles Bridges off. Just piss him off. Like, Cody Williams at least gives you like some crazy fucking upside. Another wing dude. You've already got like 4 fucking bigs in the stables there in Charlotte. In Mark Williams and JT Thor and stuff. So, I mean, they're not, again, too much chop, but Mark Williams is kind of handy. Nick Richards is what I was trying to say, JT Thor. So, I kind of think you could kick the tires on one of the other bigs. Maybe you go Klingon there, but Cody Williams, I just really want to build out that wing rotation. Someone else who can run with LaMelo, play a bit of defense next to Spindles Miller. Let's bloody do it. Number 7, Portland. Scoot, Simons, Shaden Sharp, DeAndre Ayton. These are the makings of a team, aren't they? So what do you put in there if you're Portland? If you're the Portland Trailblazers? Is this where you want to take Buzelis? Talk about a dude, like, especially with people wanting to trade for Jeremiah Grant. The Lakers are rumored to go, here's 17 for Jeremy. The Trailblazers are like, okay. I kind of, like, you've got Malcolm Brogdon, like that power forward wing spot, Jeremy Grant, like, just go Buzelis there as well and hope that the other guys can shoot it well enough to hide his sort of failings, and then maybe, just maybe, he can work on his shooting. I I don't mind that. Bazalis to Portland. 8, San Antonio again. Tijan Salon. The French dude. He's like 18. Do you have to give Wemby a French dude? Piss that off. Let's go Devin Carter. If I could build suddenly a backcourt of Devin Carter and Stephon Castle, I actually don't mind this a bit. They might not be able to play together. Don't know if the shooting's going to quite sort of sustain itself or at least get to a point where it works with Wemby, but at least you're sort of building out a team. And we know that Devin Carter, son of Anthony Carter, Orlando Magic legend, that's the balls. That's a good pick. I like Devin Carter there. It's either that or Reed Shepherd, if he's still there. Don't know. Either way, in mine, 9, Memphis, they don't even have to trade up. They still get Klingon, the Klingon. They just desperately need a bit of size next to Jaren Jackson Jr., don't they, the old Memphis Grizzlies? So we'll see what happens there. I don't mind this one because if Klingon just lands there, you're kind of like, yeah, checks out. Because outside of that Grizzlies team, you've got Jaren Jackson Jr. Ideally, he's a sook and he doesn't want to play the 5. Worked really well with Steven Adams, obviously, so throw in Klingon and away we go. Good job, Memphis. Didn't have to trade up in my mock. Maybe I just failed to, put it up that way. Number 10, Utah. They get a point guard and they go get Rob Dillingham. Next to Keontae, don't mind that. Colin Sexton can still come off the bench or start, however you're feeling about it. The Sex Man, don't mind him, but you can trade him as well. I don't feel like he's part of your future plans there in Utah. Dillingham's a little bit small, but still, Utah. Just roll the dice, have a crack from Kentucky. Not bad. You could also go Zach Edey here if you're... the rumors are that fucking Will Hardy hates Walker Kessler. So if Will Hardy's like, can you piss off this big goofy-looking fucking white bloke and bring in the other one? 11, Chicago, to play next to our man, the giddy-up kid, the Josh Giddey. Ron Holland, that's right. If Devin Carter actually falls, I'd fucking love him here next to Gids. But either way, Chicago needs wing scoring, especially whatever happens with DeRozan. You've now got Giddey, Kobe White, Levine. If you can put in a sort of bigger front court-ish Patch Williams, Vooch guy, like maybe you go Edey there to pick up in place of fucking Vooch as well. But I don't mind Ron Holland. Like that dude, he thrives in a bit of chaos. He averaged almost 19.5 points for the G League Ignite, 6.5 rebounds, 2.9 assists. Shooting was a little bit squirrely, but I don't know. Chicago, just get some shooting around Gids as well. Help the boy out. Either way, Chicago, Ron Holland. Number 12, OKC. This is the Zach Edey landing spot. Boom. You fix them rebounding issues because he's 7'40". Bang. 13, Sacramento, Bub Carrington. That's a professional bucket getter. That's exactly what the Sacramento Kings need. Every time they sort of turn around, they're like, Malik Monk coming off the bench. Awesome, let's get some buckets. Hey, anybody else, can you get a shot? And they're like, oh, no. It was weird. Sacramento shouldn't be like that, but they were. So give me Bub Carrington. He's 18. Sort of just keep him there, get him rolling, figure out what you got with Davion Mitchell, let Bub Carrington from Pittsburgh cook. Portland at 14, rounding out the lottery. I reckon this is where you either go Topic or if Salon hasn't, if he's gone already. In my mock draft, we've taken Devin Carter in place of Salon. So you could probably go Salon there if you're Portland. Roll the dice on the French kid and off you bloody well go. If not, Topic, Tristan Da Silva, around that range, it all sort of checks out. Miami at 15. Got to catch all those Nikola Jokic, but from wishes. So Nikola Topic, it is. Good job, Miami. He, hurt his ACL though, so might be a bit of a sit and have a look. Philly. Perhaps they take I think this is probably we need a bit of help right away kind of vibe for them. So if TJ and Salon's gone to Portland at 14, at Philly, let's take Tristan Da Silva from Colorado. Ready to go. What is he, 23 or some shit? Lakers, they need scoring, so give him McCain from Duke. Sounds good. They'll probably trade that just to make fucking old mate LeBron happy. 18. What do they need? Bit of scoring. Bit of shooting. A little bit of fun versatility. Who can do that? That's right, the Tin Boy himself, Johnny Tins. Johnny Furphy, the Aussie. That's right, I've got him going 18 to Orlando. He can go join Jingles. How good would that be? He could learn from the fucking master. Furfs, old Tins, mate, old Froths, he'd be sitting there going, how do I get to learn from the complete exact ideal version of me? It's like a fucking AMP ad. Jingles will walk up to him and go, g'day, I'm you from fucking 20 years from now. How do you like this? Yeah, good, isn't it? Fucking just watch me, dickhead. Let's fucking go. Johnny Furphy, 18 to Orlando. They just sort of need that sort of extra fucking scoring off the bench, because talk about teams that just go, hey, we've got Cole Anthony. Cool, we've got a little bit of scoring off the bench. And when I mean little, I mean he's fucking short. Furfs, old mate Tins, old mate Froths. He's not short. He's big. He's fun. He's awesome. Let's bloody go. Fast riser from Kansas. 19 Toronto. They need shooting and size. Give us Ware, Kalel Ware. He's a little bit of an interesting combo one for Toronto. They actually just need a bit of size. So any of the big dudes, I reckon, can go to Toronto. They also need shooting just around Scoob. We know that. Cleveland. They also need shooting. Carlton Carrington. Why the fuck not? Let's go. That dude can put it up. Pelicans. They need a little bit of size, don't they? You've got my name is Jonas Valanciunas and fuck all else. They've got shit tons of wings. They've got a couple of point guards already. So there's also, that's an interesting idea for a trade for the Pelicans to trade up for another point guard in someone like Rob Dillingham, right? So you've already got Dyson Daniels. You've got CJ. CJ might get moved this offseason. Who knows? Dyson, who we'll have a chat with next week, might get moved as well from the Pels, which would be pretty interesting. But the Pelicans, I reckon, if they stand pat, they could use a bit of size. So give us Eve Missy from Baylor. Why the fuck not? Phoenix, they need anything and everything. They will trade back, I reckon, and go get some second rounders because they got nothing else coming up. They basically just need to get some dudes in the door. If they actually kept this, how about Bobby Klintman from the Taipans? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Bobby Klintman. Because I reckon they kind of maybe need a bit of a versatile big who can do a little bit of something. And I'll tell you what, Yusuf Nurkic ain't it. The entire DeAndre Ayton thing. This is so Monty Williams gets shit canned by Detroit, ruins their roster. And it was because of him that he and DeAndre Ayton fell out. They pissed Monty off anyway. They traded fucking DeAndre Ayton. And you're like, geez, just imagine if the Suns actually had like a workable backup big, or just a big rather, instead of Nurkic. You just kept Ayton. Just saying. How about Bobby Klintman? Let's go. Boom. Phoenix at 22. Number 23, Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land. It'll be good if they take Kaishan George. That's a really nice fit next to Midi, Giannis, and Dame. They just need talent. They need warm bodies that can fucking play. And I don't mind Kaishan George. 24 and 25, the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. I love a good back-to-back in the 20s as well. Wing depth, point guard depth. They're sort of kicking the tires in a Mitchell Robinson trade, apparently, to the Wizards. But Isaiah Collier and Ryan Dunn. How does that sound? A bit of wing depth, a bit of point guard depth. Sort of help out a little bit because they've already got Deuce McBride. You've got the OG, if he sticks around and they pay him, which they fucking better. You've already got Precious Chua. You've got AJ Hartenstein if you bring him back. So, yeah, just a little bit of point guard backup, a little bit of wing depth. Boom. A bit of size. Washington at 26, Filipowski from Duke. Why the fuck not? He can back up Alexander Starr. He's a star, Alexander Starr. Minnesota, more wings and guards who can do something. So, this is an interesting one. Minnesota, there's just... In terms of the guards that are out there, this is the one that you're sort of looking at going, maybe Cam Christie from Minnesota? Maybe. Just maybe. There's also like a wing like Terrence Shannon from Illinois would be kind of fun. You've also got KJ Simpson from Colorado. He was an interesting one. I don't know. If Johnny Furphy's still there, I would love him on Minnesota. He'd be such a good fit. God, that'd be good. But anyway, there's also Jacoby Walter from Baylor, right? So that's not a bad one there, actually. Maybe Jacoby Walter from Minnesota. Nice one. Denver, what do they need? They need a little bit more guard and shooting depth. Tyler Kolak would be pretty good for them, I reckon. He's like a strange little point guard. He's doing all right. And so he could go a lot higher than that. So if you're going to get him at, 28 for your Denver, fuck yeah, why not? 29, Utah. They need a little bit more of everything. But we've already given them what? What do we give them at 10? Dillingham. So they got a point guard. Let's go a bit of size the other way. Let's go Dayron Holmes from Dayton. And then Boston, let's give them Cam Christie at 30 as well. You've just won the title. What do you see when you look at that Boston bench? The answer is a lot of white guys, Jim. A lot of white guys. Let's get Cam Christie in there and just get a little bit more crazy athleticism or something. I reckon that'd be fun. Trenton Flowers as well. I wonder how he's going to go from the Adelaide 36ers. I reckon he's still a second rounder. But the big one, the one that we're all wanting the answer to, Jim, where does Bronny James go? I reckon someone makes LA trade up. So you think about the teams in the 50s. Indy's got 2 second rounders, 49 and 50. I reckon they could just go, you know what? We might take Bronny. What do you reckon? LeBronny's like, fuck. I'm going to trade up. I love Juan Nunez as well. He'd be an interesting dude in your second round for your sleepers. Obviously, Bronny at 55 is the obvious target for the Lakers. Why wouldn't you? But Johnny Furphy, I want him to go 18. Wouldn't mind seeing Bobby Clintman go in that sort of 20 range. I don't know if he'll actually crack the first round. But there's some other interesting names outside of that. But I like Cam Christie from Minnesota a little bit more. Trenton Flowers, we'll see how he goes. Baylor Shireman is a really interesting one too as well. I sort of talked about that Minnesota one. He'd be pretty good fit there too, I think, from Creighton. So there you go. All right. There's all 30 of the first rounders done. And I reckon that might do us for today as well. Because we've got the actual bloody draft coming on Thursday. And what we'll do, as per usual, is do an NBA Straya live stream of the draft. We'll just hang out. We'll talk through every pick, all the ramifications, sit there in stunned silence, whoever goes fucking number one, because it's going to be bloody chaos. We all know that. It's going to be fun on the bun. So join us for the start of the NBA draft on Thursday morning. It should be a cracker. You better check it out through all the socials. What do we do the live streams? I think you go through Facey, Instagram, and Twitter. YouTube, I don't know if it goes out through there because I think it's an extra fucking one that I don't have. Yeah, I think we can only do 3. So check that out, would you? Good plan? Good, great. Bloody hell, let's do it. All right, so that'll do us for today. We'll be back probably on Thursday afternoon for a wrap show. I'll probably do it back in here in the studio before we do the AFL Today show. So live stream Thursday morning. We'll probably do the actual show Thursday arvo as well to wrap up the first round. And then on Friday, we do the second round, would be the Bronny James round, which would be pretty interesting. Hopefully, Furphs goes in the first round. He bloody better. Old Tins, he's been invited to the green room. So you'd expect him to go in the 20-ish range. Love that. So without further ado, let's do it. If you make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey IG, YouTube, TikTok, all the good stuff. We'll be everywhere. Check out NFL Straya as well with me and Gaz, dropping all sorts of knowledge. Cricket Today podcast, Football Today podcast, the AFL Today show, and Hold All tickets as well. They're all our shows, all very, very good. Trust me. Check us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using the Android phone. It really does help. Rate, review, star, whatever you got to do. Just fucking go and do it. I don't ask for much. Just do it, would you? Comments and stuff. Come on, bro. Get around NBAstraya.com/shop. Get your merch. I'm wearing one of the t-shirts today, the old nicknames ahead of the Olympics. And make sure you subscribe because we do have chats with Josh Giddey and Dyson Daniels coming up very, very soon. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Go check out the new band House Sets as well as Joshua Delarentis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sextra, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all at Bandcamp, Triple J Nerve, Face, Apple Music, Spotify. Remember, NBA Straya sports train bands. So should you. All right, that's it. Done. Not going to do a skit because I got to get the fuck out of here. Get home, look out for the squids. So have a really fun fucking time over the next day or two. Hopefully, we've set this first round in stone. It's the NBA Straya draft guide. It's going to go exactly that way, all right? So it's going to be chaos on Thursday. I can't wait. You know it's one of my 3 favorite days of the year. So we'll speak to them for the live stream Thursday morning, and you'll hear from us on Thursday arvo with the wrap show. It should be a cracker. It better be. Until then, this is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you dickheads? And Ledu Hosanna!